it's a long time coming. I mean, we've talked about women's rights, we've talked about the rights of girls for a long time, but still we see today the statistics, the numbers, they still talk, they still translate to the same thing. Women and girls do not get the same rights. They do not have that sort of equality before the law. Access to justice, if you're a woman or a girl, is difficult. Domestic violence and gender-based violence is definitely one of the most endemic problems in the country, one that really is a hurdle. And it has been so, but for a very long time, domestic violence has been seen only as a domestic problem. And interestingly, in a survey that the Human Rights Commission did, first in 2005 and then later repeated in 2011, we found that there were more and more women who believed that it was a right of a man to hit them. So the Anti-Domestic Violence Act was something that we hoped would make a difference. And as a Human Rights Commission Act, the first thing that we did was to start advocating for that law. And the other thing that we started is a massive campaign of creating, a massive campaign just on the Domestic Violence Act. And this is not just about advocacy, it's a combination of advocacy, holding the state accountable. It's also about ensuring that the state authorities understand their specific roles within the Act. So we call it the Dodi campaign. Dodi in Divahi means ray, or light. Part of this campaign was a door-to-door activity that we went about to different houses, making ordinary people aware of their, the Domestic Violence Act and what they could do. And it's been quite successful, but again, in some cases, when we went to on that campaign, there were houses that didn't let us in. There were men who got so angry that we were talking to their wives about domestic violence that they asked us to leave. There were some cases that we had to get the police intervention. As a Human Rights Commission, there's a role, there's a technically defined role that we play, mostly in cases where the state violates rights of the people. But I think we need to rethink the NHRA role as a institution when it comes to women and vulnerable groups. So I think there is a lot more that we can do. In cases of domestic violence, we engage a little more than a human rights institution, a little more by being the kind of support the woman needs, the kind of support she's never got.